Hey, babe.
Hey.
What's up, babe? How you doing today, babe?
I'm good.
Third podcast.
Episode 3.
We did it. How are you feeling?
This is so cool. I'm feeling really good. We talked a lot of personal things on episode 2.
We told a lot of stories. Did your mom even know some of those that we were going to tell?
I don't know. I actually never asked her. And I was like nervous. I was like, have I told my mom all those stories? Like, does she know that I know? Like, I don't know. So it's it was really good. I actually really enjoyed talking about it with you. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of therapeutic. I don't know.
Yeah, and honestly, can I just say like a huge thank you to everyone listening and watching right now?
Yeah.
Like, the support has been so cool. And actually, we've been getting a lot of support on our new Twitter account.
Yes.
So we have a new Twitter account solely for the podcast.
Yeah.
It's at Hey Babe. It was the first Twitter account I had to negotiate for because it was taken.
Well, I mean, yeah, Hey Babe is such a cool...
It's a simple little tag, yeah.
So it's cool that
So
we
I'm
got
actually
it.
super happy. Yeah, we own twitter.com/heybabe now. So follow us on Twitter. We interact with a lot of people there, and we've been getting a lot of feedback, a lot of praise for Hey Babe. Check out what's on newsstands, you guys. It's daily news, praise for Hey Babe podcast, the internet. It was taken surprise by our podcast, apparently.
What
Not
is
funny.
this?
So for those of you who don't see, I've just got a little news article about our podcast. So that was the news headline, and we actually got a lot of great quotes in the story. Hannah says, "Absolutely love your new podcast." Crystal said, "Just finished watching/listening to the Hey Babe podcast. Can't wait for more. I feel like I'm sitting down and talking to the real Brian Lanning and Missy Lanning."
That's awesome. That's exactly
That's
what we wanted.
wanted.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because I want to pretend like there's friends in the room and we're just like, oh my gosh, let's just talk.
We want to keep it casual.
Yeah.
Angie said, "I absolutely love this. It's so personal, fun, and sweet. Great job." Thank you, Angie. Gail says, "You have converted me to the world of podcasts.
Yeah.
First one ever I've listened to, and it's yours. Loved it." That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the podcast world is completely different from the YouTube world. Missy and I come from the YouTube world. We're used to creating these perfect little 10-minute YouTube videos, and it's so different thinking outside the box to creating something longer, something a little messier, a little more personal, you know?
Well, yeah, and I feel like YouTube videos are just so they're supposed to be like easy information, quick, and before you like lose your interest or before you're like gonna click to the next video. And this is so different. Like you're sitting here and you're gonna listen.
Yeah. What's up,
hopefully.
guys? Welcome to the Hey Babe podcast.
So,
We're just hanging out, having a conversation. You know?
Thank you guys, everyone who's left us feedback on the Twitter page. You guys can follow us on there, and you can even use the hashtag Hey Babe Podcast and leave us feedback as well.
Totally. We have a couple more here. Brenna said, "I used all my data listening to Hey Babe podcast." I'm so sorry.
I know, I feel bad.
Brenna. Turn on your Wi-Fi. These are long episodes.
Yeah.
Kat the Mermaid said, "Just 5 minutes into the Hey Babe podcast and I'm already cracking up." Yeah, it's been fun. Seriously, though, a huge thank you to you guys. You've been awesome. And we have 5 stars on iTunes also. So thank you guys so much for leaving us ratings and reviews. It helps us out a ton. So if you guys haven't left a review or a rating on iTunes, please go do that. And if you guys aren't subscribed to the podcast on iTunes, you can do that. You can also subscribe to Missy's channel where you're watching this. If you're watching this.
Yeah, if you are watching, hi.
My office is a little bit of a mess right now. So we just got back from Vidcon. How was your Vidcon?
VidCon was actually really good. So I think we still haven't figured out how many VidCons we've been to. It's either 4 or 5.
I know. We keep throwing out the number.
And
it doesn't matter. But we've been to a lot. And
Yeah.
this year was cool. This year was special, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know. I have always had a lot of anxiety going to these events. Like, they're fun, and I've always enjoyed them in a way, but I've always had a lot of stress. Like, my number one stress is that these people who meet us, they see me in such a personal way. Like, I'm in front of, I'm with my family, and I'm like fun and I'm exciting. But then in real life, like when I first meet someone who I don't know, I'm like, hi.
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Missy's definitely like been a very reserved person. And I think that's why like when we started doing YouTube, you were like, no, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because you were a much more reserved person.
Yeah. And I've always I never considered myself an introvert before YouTube, but then I started getting into YouTube, and I was like, well, man, I think I'm like really introverted. Now I've gotten to a place where I don't think I'm introverted. I think I've always had just social anxiety, and I think that now I've realized that I just am very shy, which is not introvert. I'm a very outgoing, fun person that's just like, I can be really crazy.
Yeah.
But
you have to get to know people.
Yeah.
And
I'm
Missy,
reserved, for
and
sure.
I mean, there's some people who, they come up to us and talk to us, and they, tell us how much they love their YouTube channel. And if Missy gets talking to them any more than 5 or 10 minutes,
Yeah.
it's like instant best friend.
Yeah, no, for real.
Missy's like, okay, cool, let's go have fun.
I feel like I feel people out, and I have to like feel that connection. It takes me a little bit to feel it out. And sometimes it can take me even longer than that. So I feel like over the past like years, and over just literally this past year, I feel like I've really worked on like, I cannot come across that way. Like, I love everyone that comes up to me, but I, on the outside, appear as though I might be like just so nervous that I might even come off as rude.
Yeah.
And I hate that. And I'm like, I need to fix that. I cannot be that person. And so I've just been really working on it. And I feel like it's me being able to gain a confidence about myself. I think I've always been like a little self-conscious, what people actually think of me or how I look or whatever. And I'm just like,
I think that's to be
it.
expected when you have lots of eyeballs on you.
Yeah. I think I've become a lot more confident as myself. Like, I have so many different outlets that I'm able to express myself now that I feel more confident in myself. So meeting people this year was a little bit easier, and I feel like just talking to everyone at VidCon was easier for me, which was cool.
Yeah, it's funny because our YouTube career has kind of at this point brought Missy out of her box a little bit. And I think for me it's definitely made me a little bit more guarded. So like, I'm good when we go to events like these, when it's like a planned thing.
So good.
I love meeting people. I'm able to do that. But like when it's other places, like if it's like when I'm out in public and I'm in a grocery store, like, and I'm not thinking about like someone watching me or following me, and then they like
You get nervous.
Yeah.
Well,
I get really nervous, and I definitely get a lot of anxiety from that. And like,
we've had a lot of experiences on YouTube, and you just never know who's actually watching you. If it's someone you love, or if it's someone that loves you, or if it's someone that hates you. You literally don't know who's about to walk up to you, and that can be a scary feeling. Although we've never had someone walk up to us that doesn't like us.
Yeah,
but you just
everyone we've met face to face has always been so sweet and nice
so
and friendly.
awesome. Yeah.
And that's never been an issue.
No, but it's nerve-wracking when there are people that talk bad about you out there.
Yeah.
And then when you're out, it's nerve-wracking. It can definitely cause some anxiety, and I think that's how it's developed for you.
Yeah.
So
that's something I'm working through.
Yeah, you're still working through that.
Yeah.
And because he's a very outgoing person. He's always been so amazing. Like, he's always been like the savior when I look like stressed. Like, you're just
I think it's just because like I'm like in charge of all of you guys. I'm in charge of you and the boys. Like, I'm responsible.
In
So
a
it's like I
way.
have a lot more like pressure on me, I guess.
I can understand that.
But VidCon was fun. I performed at VidCon on the Awesomeness
Yes.
TV stage. That was cool. Just did a couple of covers.
Yeah.
And we did a couple of panels. And it was interesting. So we got like 4 days away, and we got some work done, and
Yeah, we got work done. We fell behind on some work.
fell behind a little bit. So it's okay. So we kind of had to come home and grind a little bit. But
Yeah, but I feel like we're starting to feel back on track. And while we were gone, Ellie and Jared from Ellie and Jared TV, Ellie and Jared on YouTube, had a baby.
they had a baby, little Tommy.
Yes, Tommy, Joel, Meekum, and we're so excited. We actually just watched their birth vlog, which was so cute.
Yeah, it was so
like
cute.
Emotional.
So happy for them.
Yeah.
3 babies,
3 boys.
3 boys.
If we have another kid, it's gonna be a boy. Just so you know.
It's probably gonna be a boy. When are we having another boy? I
I
feel
know,
like we're not
right?
even like asking it. It's just like, when's the other boy due?
When's
When's
the
that
boy
happening?
coming? I know. We actually, I don't know. I feel like that's a whole conversation for a whole podcast.
Well, if you guys want to hear about it, let us know.
Yeah. So on our last podcast, not only did we talk about, a lot of things, a lot of our divorce, a lot of like our stories and stuff. We actually asked you guys what you wanted to hear for this podcast.
Yeah. So we had a couple options up, and what was the biggest one? What do people want to hear?
Looks like.
Wait, what were the 4?
So it was growing up, money, religion, and YouTube. And YouTube got 7%. So no one wants to hear us talk about YouTube
Okay,
anymore.
no more YouTube talk. That's fine.
Money got 12%.
Okay.
So I don't know. Religion 19. Growing up was 60%.
Okay, cool.
So I think we're going to talk a lot about like our growing up and how we kind of have become who we are, and maybe even how it messed us up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll let you take the lead if you want to start.
So
Missy's childhood is really fascinating.
Well, first I want to say, like, thank you guys so much for doing the poll. This was on my YouTube channel, and I'm sure we'll do other ways for you guys to interact and let us know what you want us to talk about. next time. But yeah, I had a very interesting childhood. I grew up with my parents, both married, had an amazing relationship, marriage. It was such a beautiful childhood, in my opinion, but we grew up in a crazy church. And it's such a weird thing for me to say because I was a part of it for so long that it just felt normal to me. But then after being out for 10 years, I was like, oh, I definitely experienced a lot of interesting things in the first 13 years.
So
of my
what was
life.
the church called so people know?
So it was called Faith Baptist Church, and it was a Baptist, like a fundamental independent Baptist church. Mm-hmm. And basically their whole preference is kind of like old time religion. Like they don't want any of the new things. So really they don't even really believe
You
in
weren't
a lot
singing
of
like
social media.
pop Christian music.
No, I never listened to like Britney Spears as a kid.
Oh.
I never listened to, Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys.
Even like Christian music though.
Oh no, yeah, not even Christian music.
Like
it
Christian pop, Christian rock. Like you weren't allowed.
The whole theory was that if it had a beat, if you could like tap your foot to it, it was not okay to listen to.
Oh wow.
And it needed to be like a smooth.
Because they didn't want you moving your body.
Yeah, definitely no dancing for
Oh.
sure. And like it's so interesting because we go to church, and when we go to church, like people are kind of like clapping, they're kind of like tapping, and maybe they're like raising their hands. That was not my church. Our church was kind of like we sing hymns in a very like organs, pianos, guitar, maybe
old-fashioned music. So you never listened to the radio.
Yeah, never listened to like the radio. We were never allowed to go to the movie theater. If we had been caught at a movie theater, I would have been expelled from school.
That's wow.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
So that's a church.
And
so basically this church is like running your life.
Yes. So my parents, they kind of gravitated to this church because in the beginning it was, I feel like they were just trying to find a simple way of living.
Yeah.
But it kind of got crazier and crazier to the point where my family was like, okay, if we don't get out now, and if Missy wants to be anything else other than like a teacher at this school, then I won't be accepted into this church anymore. And they were like, this isn't okay. So we like ran away. We ran away to Idaho.
You had to.
Yeah.
You had to leave the church that way.
We had to. I mean, we could have stayed around, but we would have felt ridiculed, looked at, stared at.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in the community, you would have ran into them at the store. It would have been hard.
Lucky for us, we did have the support of like all my aunts and uncles, and they always were like, maybe you guys shouldn't be in that
Yeah, they were
church.
like, wait, you guys aren't allowed to wear pants or shorts or go to the movies?
We weren't allowed to look like the outside world, act like the outside
worldly,
world.
Right?
Yeah, it was called worldly. I mean, we needed to stand out to people that if someone were to look at us and be like, oh, what are they doing? They seem really nice. I'm not even sure what you would think if you saw them. Honestly, at this point, you would look at them and be like, why do they look so weird?
Yeah.
But I mean,
so it was one of those things you kind of had to escape to get out of. And I mean, you've told me too, there was a lot of things that like your parents found out about and like a lot about how they were doing the numbers and the politics inside the church just gets really messy. And
yeah. And I mean, any church has all that.
Yeah.
But I think that one thing that's always stayed with my family is that we've never been angry at the way that things happen because nothing terrible happened to us. Now, we have concerns on how it could affect other people and stuff like that, but we've never been angry. It honestly changed my parents' life in a positive way. They learned how to have an amazing marriage. They learned how to raise us and have good kids who loved their parents and like honor them. And that's stuff we are so
I love that they were
for.
able to take all of the good things out of something like that.
And we were able to
and learn
escape
from
in a
it even.
positive way because I can tell you story after story of people who didn't get that experience.
Yeah.
They left and
Kind of got lost in it.
were sad and felt ripped off and hurt, and as they should, So, I mean, gosh, that's a whole nother story too. But we left and we were like, okay, what can we do now? And I literally went to Idaho, put on my first pair of pants.
First pair of pants ever. How old were you when you wore your first pair of pants?
I think I was about 14. Like 14
Wow.
years old.
14 years old wearing pants for the first time. You are a rebel. So this is after you guys moved to California.
And moved to Idaho.
Oh, moved to Idaho.
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't put on a pair of pants, so we moved to Idaho. And I remember going to Walmart and picking out those pair of pants.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. I felt so cute. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so cute.
Yeah.
And I remember watching our very first movie in the theater, and it was Finding Nemo.
Oh my gosh.
I believe that came out about 2003. I feel
It's
like I need
so
to look that
weird.
up.
It's like you've been living in a hole.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like Kimmy Schmidt crawling out of the hole at 13 years old. And you're like, I get to wear pants and listen to music and watch movies. That's crazy. So what kind of music did you start listening to right away? Was it country music?
Yeah, obviously. And you know what? I got to say, that was the one thing we probably were a little rebellious on. We did listen to a little bit of country music. And oh my gosh, we would like, oh, this feels so like weird to say.
I want to hear
out
it.
loud.
What are you going to say?
But like we would listen to it on the way to church. But like once we got close to church, we would turn it all the way down.
Yeah.
Because no one could hear us listen to it. We would be in
Or
trouble.
else you would get in trouble.
Oh, we would get actually expelled.
Wow.
Expelled. So, I mean, and I got to be careful too, because there are people that are still in this church and they're still dealing with these things, and
It's
a
so
lot of people are
sad.
hurting from it. So, moving on, I mean, basically though, I feel like my childhood from then on out was super sweet. Like I just like got to experience all these things, and I never felt jaded for not getting to experience it before. But then I met Brian, and I feel like my parents were like, "Oh my gosh, what have we done?"
So you went from California to Idaho, and I was also born in California.
Yeah.
And I was raised by my mom and my sister, so I really didn't have a dad growing up. My mom had like boyfriends. She also had like a lot of jobs, and we were just like trying to make it, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you had a lot of struggles there for a while too in California.
Yeah, I remember like going camping on Fiesta Island in San Diego and learning that I wasn't actually camping. We were actually evicted and we were living in a tent.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there was like a lot of people who like helped us. And like when I was 6, my mom had experienced some, like downsides. We were struggling. And so my grandma, who lived in Idaho, my grandma was very successful. She had, real estate. She was really good in business and money. And she was the one in our family who managed her money. You know what I mean? No one else in the family had money. So she was always bailing people out. She was always helping us and saving us and stuff. So, so she picked me up when I was 6, and she moved my whole family to Idaho to live with her and like get my mom back on her feet. And that was cool because I had a similar experience to yours, was growing up so close to my grandma. And I loved my grandma was like this feisty old woman who acted like she was 20 years younger than she was. And she had this big, huge house, and we had chickens.
Yeah.
And we had an amazing life. It was weird going from like a box, an apartment box in California, to like going to a ranch in Idaho.
It's a big change.
Yeah. So I was like 6 years old at the time, So that was my foundation. And then I was raised by my grandma, my mom and my sister, as all these like strong females who were just trying to make it work.
And you didn't really have a lot of like a religious background.
No. I never grew up in the church. When I was like in elementary school or middle school, I probably went a couple of times with friends. And then eventually.
I feel like you just kind of were in a place where it's like you didn't know what you felt was true or what you believed.
Yeah.
You just kind of like,
I was always a good kid.
Yeah, you
like
were.
I never like did drugs or drank or like stole or anything like that. I was always a good kid.
Yeah.
And then we found ourselves in a little town, Emmett, Idaho, and that's where I met Missy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy though how different our childhood was.
Yeah.
And how we kind of bonded in a way, because I felt like I have so much to offer you, Brian. Like I know how like a strong family is. Like I have my amazing parents who just love each other and show me such a cool marriage. And then I just wanted to like kind of save you, because your mom didn't really have the same kind of relationships that my parents had.
Yeah, our house was a little nuts. And my mom got married, and I had a stepdad, and he was abusive and he was an alcoholic, and it wasn't a super happy house. Yeah. I was doing chores. I was kind of raising myself in a way, because they were working and I was raising myself. I was earning my own money, buying my own socks and underwear, stuff like that.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I was kind of on my own.
Yeah, I mean, and that's so crazy, because that's literally so different from my life that I was just like,
Missy had this beautiful family and parents, like amazing parents. I remember meeting your parents and going like, oh, I thought all parents were were a-holes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I loved my parents.
Yeah, they were so they talked to me like so respectfully.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. I was like, I am like this 16-year-old punk kid who's interested in their daughter, and like they're actually talking about me like they care about me. I was like, surprised.
And it took them a while to kind of get to, like, it didn't take them a super long time. I think at first they were concerned, but they also, like, if I'm gonna date a guy, they want to get to know him, and they instantly knew that, you know, you were kind of someone that they could take care of in a way. Like, they wanted to also help you. I mean, they couldn't help in multiple ways, but if anything, they just wanted to be like a good role model for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, heck,
like
your dad was. I mean,
that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
That's what they became for you.
I didn't really have a positive influence, like a positive male influence in my life until I met your dad.
Yeah. And that was so cool because, I mean, my dad is literally the best person ever.
Yeah.
And I will, like, always say that. I mean, gosh. And I was just so happy that not only did the guy that I wanted to marry look up so much to him, but, like, my dad has always said, we did run to Idaho, but he has always said we went to Idaho to pick up Brian.
Yeah. And then we went back to California.
And we didn't know that we were doing that. We didn't know we were going to go to Idaho and meet Missy's husband, but, like, that's the only reason we went. That's the only reason we were there. That's, like, the main good thing that came out of going to Idaho.
So funny too, because, like, now him and I, like, work together every day.
Yeah.
Like, we're always doing fun things on YouTube together every day.
Yeah.
It's
and you guys
fun.
work really well together, which is
so
awesome.
funny to see, like, where we've come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, totally. We've come from nothing. I mean, we really built everything from the ground up, and even just the relationship. And you are so much a part of our family now. My parents literally think of Brian as one of their kids. Like, and that's such a cool thing for me because I'm so close to my parents. And since I was able to meet him in high school, he has just literally been a part of our family for so long at this point.
Yeah, it's like I kind of grew up with Missy and her family, and now we're like, it's kind of like I grew up within the family together.
Yeah, my brother and sister literally consider Brian one of their brothers.
Yeah.
You're not like a brother-in-law to them. And that's so special to me. Like, that means so much to me because I am so close to them.
Yeah.
That it was really important to me. And I didn't know that it was going to be important to me until, you know, as I started to get older and realize, like, my family just means a lot to me. I'm very, very close to them, and I always have been. We did grow up all living together with my grandparents on the property in Southern California. And so
it was one property, 2 houses, right?
Yeah, 2 houses, and we just had an amazing, like, close-knit, like, family. Like, every weekend we'd have everyone over and we'd have a barbecue and we'd just hang out, and that's always been so important. So it's just cool that we were able to go to Idaho, pick up Brian, make him become a part of our family.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, okay, nothing left to do in Idaho now. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Nothing more to see here.
Yeah.
And we left Idaho because of the snow.
Yeah. And it's just crazy. Yeah. Our backgrounds literally have made us who we are. I feel like I am a stronger person because of the experiences that I've been through, because of the religious background that I have. Like, I'm not angry at all. I'm so thankful for everything that they gave my parents and for what they've given me, just that foundation. And also just knowing what I don't want, you know what I mean? What I don't want for my kids. And I'm thankful for my parents being able to pull us out when it was necessary. And they pulled us out right in time.
Yeah.
It was so cool. So, we just have such different backgrounds, such different, like, growing
I feel
up.
like, and it's kind of influenced, like, how we're raising our current family too, and kind of like the direction we want to go with it as well. You know, we've got a great property here in California now, and we have space to put another house on for your parents when that time comes. And that's kind of what we want to do. You know, like, we would love for the kids to be able to wake up and hop in their little Power Wheels and drive over to Mimi and Papa's house and have breakfast, and then.
And we should talk about too. I mean, after we married, you were technically still had no, like, real religious thoughts, and you kind of did become a Christian. And it's kind of shaped how we raise our kids as well. Yeah, we're someone in the church, and we have our religious thoughts. And I mean,
well, I think what you're trying to say is, like, I was kind of lost.
Yeah.
I was a lost boy. And it took a long time for me to, like, find faith
Yeah.
And it wasn't until after I met you and your family, and that kind of like really put me in the right direction, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know what our life would look like if that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was such an interesting time in our life as well. But that's pretty much our childhood. It was a fun childhood.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I remember most of my childhood actually was like doing things I didn't want to do. It was camping, hunting, fishing.
Yeah.
Like my mom married an outdoorsy guy, and I am what you call indoorsy. So a lot of my childhood was like trying to get out of going camping, trying to be like, oh, I don't want to hunt. You know what I mean? I don't want to hunt for deer. Like that was the thing you do in Idaho. Like,
I never did it, but okay.
You never hunted?
No, I would never.
You didn't even go like bird hunting once?
Never.
Really?
Never.
Honestly, I'm surprised because I'm sure even like the girls who are your age were doing
it.
You know what I mean?
Everyone was doing it. We went to Idaho, met all kinds of people who were like, "Oh, we're going hunting," and I was like, "Ew." I'm a Cali girl.
Yeah.
My email was Cali girl, and I was literally determined to get back to California.
But it's so funny because you are such a country girl.
I am.
Missy is a country girl, but she does not want to hurt the animals.
I am. Right? I would say I am a country girl. I'm a Cali country girl. Like I love California. I love the culture of California. I like to look cute. I like to look pretty, but I also love my horses. I like to get dirty. I don't want to kill anything though. And you know what?
That's where she draws the line.
I don't want to kill anything. Like I just don't. Like my dad is so funny too because like, oh my gosh, he's like, he's a man. Like he'll go out and shoot guns or whatever, but like he doesn't want to kill anything either. He doesn't want to.
He'll kill a rattlesnake.
Oh yeah. Gosh.
If there's a rattlesnake crossing our path and the boys are like even remotely nearby, it's like Papa versus the rattlesnake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean for sure. And I shouldn't say like I don't want to kill anything. I feel like that's gonna go crazy because yes, I will kill a rattlesnake.
Well, if you had a mountain lion running towards you,
I'd kill it.
And you would hit it.
Yeah.
Because you're a California country girl.
Yeah. I love my California. I literally love that we live in California. We live in such a beautiful area that's not overcrowded and we have property and our kids can run and play and we
kind of have that like freedom and security to like kind of feel like we're living like off the grid a little.
Yeah.
Away from civilization.
Yeah, it's honestly, and I've talked about this, like it's everything I ever dreamed about, but I never dreamed it because I never thought it would be possible.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move to some questions that we've been getting. A lot of people were wondering from our last podcast. We talked a lot about our divorce and everything that we went through as well. Yeah. We talked a lot about like as we had first got married, what we went through and all of that. But I don't know if we fully finished the story because a lot of people keep asking us, like Karen, she says, how long were you guys divorced for? Did you remarry on the same date again?
Okay.
That's so interesting. So yeah, we were apart for like 5 months.
Yeah, it was a couple months.
So it's not a lot of time. We were like, I think it was like January we split up and we were like apart for like April or May.
April or May, yeah.
The divorce was finalized in April. I know that. And he wouldn't sign anything. He was like, I don't want to divorce you. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But then we got back together like a month. So we were like apart for 5 months and then we got back together.
Yeah.
And we started redating, like getting to know each other.
Yeah, kind of like rekindling our relationship again and starting over and then it just we made it official.
Yeah, we made it official. Yeah. Do we want to say that date? We've never said it.
No, let's keep it a secret.
Okay, it's a secret. But maybe one day we'll tell you guys. But we are married, secret. Obviously, guys.
Yeah, we're married.
We did finalize that marriage, and it's been concrete since then.
Yeah, she hasn't divorced me again, in case you're wondering.
I'm not going to divorce him again. Okay.
So we actually have on our Twitter, Kaylel said, "What is your uploading schedule for the podcast?"
Yeah, we're still trying to figure that out.
I think once a week sounds good, but honestly, like if you guys have any feedback, let us know on Twitter at HeyBabe or in the comments of the YouTube video. We
would love to do more than once a week, but right now I feel like that's what's our.
And we'd love to know like what day of the week like you guys would like them to go up if we did once a week.
Yeah,
like Mondays.
Monday, we really like the idea of that because people are getting ready to go back to work. They can start listening throughout the week. So
yeah, let us know what you guys think. But I think we're gonna do it weekly. I think that's pretty easy for us to maintain. Yeah, and maybe we'll do some more. more.
Yeah. So let us know.
Yeah. Well, all right, you guys. I think that's all for Hey Babe podcast episode 3. We didn't have Ollie on. He's kind of in a weird mood today.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe
we'll
another time. But let us know. Let us know if you guys. Let us know who you guys want to see on the podcast.
Yeah,
actually, let us know because we haven't had a special guest yet. We've had 3 episodes. We should probably bring someone on pretty soon. So
yeah,
it definitely would be fun to like get your parents' perspective.
Yes.
While we're talking about growing up and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to hear all of that, and I would love to hear from you guys. Yeah, what else you want to hear us talking about? Leave it down in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. But let us know on iTunes.
Yes.
Hey Babe on Twitter.
Follow us on Hey Babe. Follow us on iTunes. Leave us a rating and review. Thanks so much for listening to Hey Babe.
Thank you guys.
We still don't have official Hey Babe mugs, but they're coming, I promise. If you're watching the video podcast, you can see I'm drinking out of a Mad as Hatter teacup. And yours is actually really cute. It's like cats and stuff.
Kitty cat, and there's cats inside.
But maybe we'll have some Hey Babe mugs soon.
Yeah, so maybe we'll sell them too.
Do a proper cheers sign off thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
did we ever figure out how we're signing off?
Well, we're going to cheers. We're going to cheers our new Hey Babe mugs when they come.
Okay. All right.
All right. I love you too, babe. This is fun. Yep. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.